to manipulate history when they rose and began to expand into the broader world in the 15th and the 16th century, because they had to justify the slave trade and they had to justify the colonial system that followed. And modern racism has its incubation in that period. You cannot enslave a man and say he's a human being, that he has humanity, and that he was one of the forerunners of the world's religion. You cannot enslave an African and say this about him. Because if you say he's a human being, then you're saying he's an extension of you. Then you cannot sell an African Christianity and call him a heathen and acknowledge the African contribution toward the creation of Christianity. So it's a contradiction. The European had to literally strip history of the contributions of non-European people.
They know that Mau Mau is only a symptom of the natives' growing unrest with the white man's rule. They know that Mau Mau has not spread to the other 175 million blacks of Africa yet. But they know, too, that the calm and measured words of Jomo Kenyatta are dynamite. Is Mau Mau the spark that will light the fuse? Only time will tell. And time is running out. In order to repeat the 7 parts of the terrifying Mau Mau oath. If I tell any secrets of the Mau Mau, this oath will kill me. If I am called in the night and refuse to come, this oath will kill me. If I see anyone steal white man's property, I must help him. I must hide what he gives me and say nothing, or this oath will kill me. If I am told to bring in the head of a white man and refuse, this oath will kill me. I will refuse to go to the white man's schools and churches, or this oath will kill me. I will obey all orders of the Mau Mau, or this oath will kill me. 7 cut.
What is good, my people? We are live back again with another live broadcast on the forecast. Shouts out to my brother Anthony in the building. Much love to you, my brother. Appreciate you for coming through. I know I'm a little bit late today, and I probably should have been up here about an hour ago, but shit, I got sidetracked. But you know what? I ain't do all that for nothing. So you know what? I'm still gonna do it. And I guess I won't be as long. We'll see how it goes, but I ain't gonna be on here super long. But what I'm gonna do is go back into the history thing. But a conversation I had earlier about, Haiti, and I realized that a lot of information and a lot of stuff most people just don't necessarily know. So while I was on the topic of Haiti, as far as history, we'll go through and see how we got to where we are today, somewhat, um, we'll go from there. But all right, so let's just go ahead and start it. So I'm gonna just start with the whole history thing, and this is where we left off last time. So let's see. I want to focus a little bit more on what was going on in Haiti at the time. And we talked about people like Duddy Bookman and Toussaint and the leaders at the beginning of the revolution. But at this time, people like Jean-Jacques Dessalines began to get leadership positions within the army.
The third step is when we get Jean-Jacques Dessalines as the leader. Now, this is the person, again, when we take all the stuff they say about him is really, but one of the things, the man speaks Yoruba. He makes a choice to have all his closest people Africans, which, as a very humorous person, he called his closest troops who are just recently arrived Africans. He called them the Polish troop. Why? Because he says they speak Haitian as poorly as the Polish speak French. So, this is the man who's going to structure the final blow. This man is born for this, raised by a military woman, Agbaraya Toya, whose name as Tantoya, he calls Tantoya, and everyone in that period called Tantoya. This is this military woman from Dahomey who raised him all along and reminded him throughout his life that his destiny is to bring liberty to this land, and gave him the proper training in military and philosophy and spiritual and mysticism as well. So,
By the way, and she mentioned the homie. I know a lot of people. Shouts out to Matron in the building. I appreciate you, Matron. Of course, we'll be as delicate as we can be, and we try to keep it on the um historical or things that historical aspect, just stuff that happened. We'll try. But as I was saying, Matron, I realized that a lot of people, like even maybe even Haitians themselves, well, the majority of the mass public don't know a lot of information, right? Which leads us to say and do negative things towards each other. You know what I'm saying? So shouts out to Tucson in the building. But notice she said his mother was a Dahomey woman. And so I know a lot of people use that like, well, the Dahomey was, well, you do business with them and you end up in the same shoes like everybody else. I want you to keep that in mind too.
when in this training, this man is prepared, the time has arrived. He has been a perfect soldier under all those who came before him. He was an absolutely obedient lieutenant, captain, and colonel to Toussaint Louverture. He has received all his formal military functioning training and regulations from Toussaint. He does not do anything that Toussaint does not ask him to, that Toussaint does not order him to, until Toussaint is no longer there. Then it is evident to everyone there is no other person to
What up, my
replace
brother
Toussaint
Anthony?
and take the lead of the people's movement, and that is this man, Jean-Jacques Dessalines.
Now, after Dessalines became a leader and a
So now, y'all, Dessalines is now in the picture, y'all. So, um, we can start talking about Dessalines now.
general in the army, they were able to defeat the mulattoes who were against them and against Toussaint by 1800, and they captured their general. And the general of the mulattoes, Regard, and again, I apologize if I say his name wrong. I wasn't colonized by the French, okay? But the mulatto general was deported to France,
What's
which
what's
gave
going on,
Toussaint.
Karma 804? Shouts out to Karma 804 in the building. Now, as we already talked about, a lot of these dynamics in Haiti is complicated, especially with this mulatto mixed race thing, right? Because I know we're from here and where we are in America is like, well, a one drop rule, which means if you have a drop of white blood, you're white now. So the law has changed. But it used to mean you were black. But here in Haiti, that's a completely different circumstance, you know what I'm saying? And this internal fighting and a lot of these issues, right? But at this point, when they had no other choice but to put aside their differences, we'll see.
Contested control of Haiti. And then when Spain conceded their land, Toussaint was in control of the entire island. Now, the thing is, once Toussaint was in power, he created policies
So there you go, my brother. Toussaint got control of the entire island,
basically to
what,
recreate the
1799 or whatever.
traditional plantation
Forgot what I
system
said.
that they had just fought to destroy and get out of. And Toussaint even wanted to import more Africans to increase their workforce and to boost their economy by doing business with the French, the same French people who they just had to expel from their island. Now, a lot of people disagree with Toussaint's policies and they felt like he was just reinstating slavery again. But Toussaint eventually formed an assembly to create a constitution in 1801.
All right, so there's and yo, I want to say this, yo, because while y'all here, I appreciate it because sometimes I do be tripping, but I guess it's a good thing to build the kind of people around you who have the right mind as opposed to, and this is not saying anything to anybody else, but because it shouts out to whoever is listening, but I do appreciate that y'all have not gave up on me yet, I guess.
And in the first constitution, it said that slavery was banned in Hispaniola forever. And they also eliminated statuses based off race or color. It said all people should be admitted into Haiti based.
No, did I said that in the video? I didn't hear it. Because no, Tucson definitely did not expel them. No, I don't. No, I was talking about how he was trying to reinstate some of their policies and how he was trying to be a Frenchman or whatever.
And they felt like he was just reinstating slavery again. But Toussaint eventually formed an assembly to create a constitution in 1801. And in the first constitution, it said that slavery was banned in Hispaniola forever. And they also eliminated statuses based off.
Oh, I'm muted. Well, what's going on, my brother?
Hey, what's up? What's going on, man? What's going on, podcast?
Not much, not much. You doing all right, my brother?
It's chilling, yeah, man. Yeah, I'm doing fine, man. Peace to the matron and everybody else in the comment section, man. Now, what I was saying, what I was just alluding to, was what I put in the chat was that Tucson he didn't run the French out. He didn't run them out. He didn't fight. He wouldn't fight against the French army. Like the army that Napoleon sent with Leclerc. He was fighting with the local colonial army. And against the governor. Hey, they had the French governor there. They had the colonial army. That's who he fought against. No, he didn't fight. He wasn't fighting against the main army. Like what the French sent there to go and hey, get all these Negroes in line. No, he fought against the local army. No, the colonial army. He defeated them, the colonial army, and the governor, and then eventually he took over control of the whole island and everything. But that's what I just want to be specific. He didn't drive the French out. The French were still citizens there, were still there. It was Dessalines who drove them out.
Right, definitely. Um, yeah, well, I don't know if I said that. If I did, well, I don't know because I had to go back and listen. But I guess I would be saying, like he just defeated the people that was there, like the French, because that's something we're gonna talk about is also maybe how they lost too. I'm not putting it on him. I'm just saying black people in general. But yeah, definitely my brother. I agree with you on that one. Um, you want to say something else?
Oh no, go ahead, go ahead.
All right. So we at the brother making the Constitution here.
Based off race or color. It said all people should be admitted into Haiti based on their merit. Now, I'm not saying that allowing people in based off your merit isn't the correct thing to do. But when we keep talking about this, all people and all lives and all colors, hopefully we'll learn our lesson about that sooner than later. Now, the thing about Toussaint's constitution, it banned the practice of voodoo in Haiti and made Catholicism.
Oh, maybe I should have listened to that part because that should have. But because the thing is though, we also have to in the modern day, right? Because to be honest with you, I wish that black people were as violent as we are portrayed to be. And it seems to be the same thing over and over, as we saw, like how the Mau Mau is so violent and stuff like that, right? But um they eventually, right, tried to do a lot of stuff changing the constitution. I was rushing to do a lot of this stuff. So yeah, uh that's why I'm late too.
Thousands of Haitians have taken to the streets to protest President Jovenel Moise's plan to overhaul the country's constitution. Moise says it's deeply flawed. Protesters insist it's vital to democracy.
We consider the 1987 Constitution to be the birth certificate of Haiti's democracy. So that's why we're here in the streets defending our Constitution, this huge democratic gain that the Haitian people made so many sacrifices to achieve.
The current Constitution gives significant power to the president and prime minister, but they must answer to a majority in parliament. President Moise wants.
Now, this constitution is completely different from the first one, right? Now I probably would have to look for it, but there was originally a clause in there where only black people could own. Well, they let white people stay, but they called them black. You know, it's kind of weird. But how did how were non-black people white? How were let's just say slave owners, right? Because that's who they was banning. How were slave owners allowed to acquire land in Haiti today? Did it get changed, or am I tripping?
From my understanding, the people, this class, this from this sister uh Esley Dunso, you know, she was talking about it. This ethnic group, this small, this tiny, this group of people who are largely a lot of Syrian Arabs, you know, who they put them in the class up there with the mulattoes, you know, with the mulatto class, you know, the wealthy elites, upper class in Haitian society. But a lot of these people, a lot of them are Syrian Arabs. A lot of, you know, you see that dynamic in West Africa too, where a lot of these Lebanese Arabs all over West Africa, particularly like in Liberia, you know, in Sierra Leone and in other parts of West Africa. You know, a lot of these you know, they like basically do the same thing that the East Indians did in Uganda. You know, like they control the retail economy, you know, the local economy. They import stuff. You know how they do in our community. You know, they got their little store on the corner and all that. You know, so basically, it was these the low groups. These were pretty much these groups of people who we're referring to. But like, okay, when you go back to the point where you said where they still allowed the whites or the Europeans to stay there, you know, talking about after the revolution. Now this was originally, these were the Polish soldiers. Because in the army that Napoleon had sent to Haiti, it was called the Army of the Pyrenees. Okay. Now this particular army, you know, Napoleon ran roughshod over Europe. He basically like was Hitler before Hitler, you know, and trying to control Europe. And so, you know, all of the conquer places he had, sometimes they contributed troops. Now, there was a regiment of Polish troops in the French army under Leclerc, Napoleon's brother-in-law. But what happened during the war, eventually as the war culminated and was raging toward the end, the Polish soldiers, you know, like mutinied from the French commanders, and they joined the Haitians. They joined the Africans. They joined their forces. You know what I'm saying? And so after the war, and you know, after the war was over, after the Dessalines was victorious, they gave land to those those Polish soldiers who had sided with, you know, with the Africans in the war. And then that's when after that point, Dessalines said that everybody was gonna be black. You know, that's addressing that point you was talking about. That they weren't gonna be Europeans or whatever, that everybody would be designated as black, you know.
That's I hear you, right? Polish was certainly one group, brother, but is that all that they said could be black, right? Was
Well,
it just the
what
Polish that helped them? What did they say about white girls?
okay, well, all I can tell you is about the information that I know. I know that they weren't talking about the French because the French were the one that Dessalines hated the most.
Yeah. They was talking about kicking
He
the
he
slave
hated
owners,
them.
and in fact, the slave owners out specifically. Now the French,
Yeah,
most of them are
yeah,
slave owners, but the
yeah.
thing is, they was like, white women can stay, white children can stay, some Irish can stay, some Polish
I
can
don't. I
stay.
mean, I don't. I can't. I can't speak to that. All I do know is
All right.
that after what I do know is that after they had kicked the French ass a lot and during the war, before the war was over, most of those Europeans, those French, left. They evacuated. A lot of them went to the French colony of Louisiana in New Orleans. They went to Martinique. They went to Guadeloupe. They got the hell out of there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Even common regular French, it was probably a couple of them who was like useful, like who had skills in trade, like making guns. Because I remember there was one that they had brought to Dessalines, and he was a gun maker. He made ammunition and stuff, so he was where he was needed. But you talking about just regular this them, because those young bucks was running all over the island, raping the hell out of them French women, and killing them, killing their husbands and raping their wives. If you read that book, it was a book. It wasn't the one by C.L.R. James. It wasn't the Black Jacobins. It was a book called Haiti. I'm trying to think of the name of it. I read it a long time ago, man, and back in the 80s. But they were describing the details of how the French were hiding all out in the bush, the ones who couldn't get off the island, and how the Africans just wholesale slaughtered them and everything, the men, women, and the children, everybody. So I'm just saying, of course, some people got a pass, I guess. But I'm saying, I know one thing from what I read, them French got the hell out of there, man. Like it was like
Oh yeah,
it
the
was it was
French
like,
did. Yeah,
I'm saying, well, that's who the enemy was, because the French was the colonizers
they are
at
the
the time. The
colonizers.
French were the colonizers. Now remember, we talking about the revolution at that period of time. We're not talking about 50 years later. You know what I'm saying? We talking about the revolution.
Nah, brother. All right, let me
Well,
show
see, I'm
you.
answering your question. I'm answering the question you asked me.
Oh yeah. Nah, I ain't come, but so
Uh,
all right, let me damn, where was it? Shoot. Oh, here we go. My bad. All right, so check it out, right? They finna have a new street, right?
Across America,
Well, this happened
statues are
before.
being toppled. Streets and schools have been renamed. We're in the middle of a revolution, remember, all for the sake of purging the memory of long ago racism. But in New York, they have a very different plan. They're now honoring a genocidal dictator. Amazing. The city council, led by Jumaane Williams, who's a frequent guest on this show. If you watch, you'll know exactly who he is, running for lieutenant governor of New York right now, just voted to rename a street after the Haitian dictator Jean-Jacques Dessalines. In the early 1800s, Dessalines ordered the genocide of all white people on the island. That included men, women, and children.
So we know that's not a true statement, right?
And he did it. It's what he is best known for. New York City apparently finds that impressive.
Now, granted, my brother, we got another 200 and something years behind us. And when I be saying these things, it's so that we don't make the same mistakes over and over and over. You know what I'm saying? And the idea would have been nice to say, oh, just get all of them out there. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't, it was like, yeah, a lot of the French got up out of there. They went to Louisiana and brought the Cote Noir and all that stuff down there, and all that weird stuff that ended up happening in New Orleans with the mulatto thing, and it just got crazy down there. But
He apparently finds that impressive, so
that
impressive.
should have been the goal.
Seth Barron is associate editor of.
Sense to have a statue or a street named after Jean-Jacques Dessalines in Port-au-Prince, the Haitian capital. Right. I don't understand why we're doing it in New York City. I mean, there are a number of Haitians here in Brooklyn,
Yes.
Near there. But, this is advocated by the same people, Jumaane Williams and others, who want to tear down the statue of Columbus at Columbus Circle.
Right, who really did try to kill everybody, But look, is a whole bunch of different kinds of them still there. A lot of Irish and maybe not like Jamaica or whatever, but
I'm born in Haiti, born and raised. Oh, I'm Haitian. I'm born in Haiti, born and raised of parents born and raised in Haiti. Also, I'm. I manage a publishing and printing company who produces school books for the country, and it's Maison Henri Deschamps. And myself is Peter Frisch. With such a name, it's of German origin because my grandfather came from Germany, and I'm part of
The
the
Germans gotta pass
French
through.
Haitian community in Haiti. But I have my Haitian roots as well, going back all the way to independent time and colonial time. That during the Haitian Revolution, which was like a total war, and it was very much ethnic based. Most of after the Haitian won the war, most of the French left, and who remained, there were a lot that were slaughtered. That's true. But at the time, Dessalines, who was the leader and who was the one in power, had.
Damn, it's freezing now. Let's see. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, brother.
Okay, my computer froze, so it stopped. Well, all right, give me 1 second, y'all. Hopefully it'll come back. But the only reason why I'm saying this is not to like try to disparage them or anything, or disparage any black person or whatever, right? But this is a lesson that we don't seem to learn. Hold on, what the hell happened? All right. So hold on, it just cut all the way off. All right, my bad, y'all. I don't know what's going on. It just knocked me off of the jump. So am I still on here? Can you still hear me? Am I still on the thing?
Yeah, man, I hear you.
I don't know. Yo, my brother, am I still here?
We hear you, man. We hear you. We hear you. I hear you.
Damn, I can't hear him either.
Yeah, you can't hear me?
Hey, yo, say something, speak. I
What's
can
going
see you,
on?
but I can't hear you.
What's that? What's happening? I can hear you. Hold on, let me put it in the chat. I can hear you. Okay, brothers and sisters, we having technical difficulties. In the forecast, we'll be back. We'll be back to live action in a few minutes, man. So y'all just chill out for a minute, man. We'll be back. We having some technical difficulties. It happens sometimes. It happens, everybody. So y'all just bear with us a little bit, man. If you got to run and go do something, do something. We'll be back. We're just having technical difficulties. Everything will be back.
Yo, you can hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, sorry. My
Yeah,
bad, my
yeah,
brother,
okay.
my bad. I'm sorry about that. My bad, y'all. Um, All right, here you go. I don't know how that joint just knocked the whole thing off. So let's see. All right.
From most of the French left, and who remained, there were a lot that were slaughtered. That's true. But at the time, Dessalines, who was the leader and who was the one in power, had also passed a law requesting that all the French population, all the French colonists,
Shouts out to my brother Buwana in the building too. My brother, shouts out to you, my brother.
all the French colonists that were of certain trades that were considered useful for the country were to be kept, such as doctors, teachers. You have certain fields, like engineers, that were kept, that were not to be armed in any way. And
Oh,
Hey,
Buwana,
man.
go ahead, tell
Buono
him
to come up. I ain't gonna hurt him. I ain't gonna hurt him. Tell him to come up.
what's going on with you and Buwana. Something happened?
No, he just know I'm gonna whoop his ass when he come up with that crazy shit.
Oh, damn, Buwana. All right.
that were kept, that were not to be armed in any way, and those remain in Haiti, and up to this day, Haitians living in this country are descendants of those French who were saved from the slaughter, and you have, and after that, you have a lot of if you want the.
Now listen, I'm not trying to come across as like, whatever, saying like shouts out to them. I'm just trying to say that at some point a lesson has to be learned, right? In theory, it is nice to say not all of them are bad. You know what I'm saying? What about the useful ones? You know what I'm saying? In theory, what about the white bitches? What about the white babies? You know what I'm saying? Because black people is not just going around like, now they did with the slave owners, you know what I'm saying? But there were some who was even French who was very rarely though, but there wasn't just the French that was in Haiti at the time, you know what I'm saying? There was different groups. It's like maybe I'm confusing the Irish thing with Jamaica. I don't think so though, because I'm pretty sure I had videos about this before, but like I said, I was Russian and stuff like that. So like when they say, okay, they chased the French is only one group, you know what I'm saying? That's like saying, oh, they chased the Haitians out of the border, you know what I'm saying? Um, so like I'm only saying that for us as in terms of history that, they was already having trouble with mulattoes, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man, I get the theory. In theory, it sounds great, you know what I'm saying? Not all of them are bad, but I don't know what you think about this.
No, I think what I really think is that we need to get a Haitian brother or sister up here. You know what I'm saying? To bring it. I mean, because we pretty much on the same page and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? I understand where you're coming from. I mean, they hell, what? Hey, then we could. They are. Hey, what I'm gonna do about it? But I think it's like I said, it's this sister named Azili Danto. She could break down a lot of the history and a lot about that. She talk about that a lot too, about those mulattoes and also these upper class elites, these people. She say that they're not even Asians. She say they Palestinians, Syrian Arabs, Lebanese, and people like that. She talk about that a lot. It'll probably be a great thing if we could try to catch up with her, man, and bring her and invite her to the platform. And give us a lowdown on a lot of that too, man. Her name is Azili Danto. Azili Danto. And there's another sister named Jamima. Let me get her name right. Jamima Pierre. I think it's Jamima Pierre. It's Jamima Pierre. And she's based here in the US. Jamima Pierre. She's from Haiti and she's an expert on it. She's a historian, a Haitian historian. It's Jamima Pierre, and it's this other sister named if I'm trying to get her name, because she's out of Atlanta. Well, she's based in Atlanta because she deal with community movement builders there. But she's a Haitian activist. I'm trying. I'm gonna get a name and I'm gonna send it to you on Messenger, man, and send you a video of both of them. You know what I'm saying? That they are experts on the topic, and it would be great if we could get a conversation with them.
Right. Yeah, that would be dope for real. Like, yeah, that would be a good conversation. Matter of fact, that would be like a great kind of live, you know. But at the same time, though, like they are there right now, you know what I'm saying, and they have been there, you know. And I'm not, and it's just like the Boers, and not saying they are Haitian, you know what I'm saying. Like the Boers aren't South African, you know what I'm saying, or we aren't American, you know. I say that too, but that's a whole nother conversation. But I think this system might be Haitian. I might be wrong.
After Haiti won its revolution in 1804, Haiti was the country that was unacknowledged. Okay. Now, here we are in 2026. They got a big debate called White Haitian. Now, who did not acknowledge Haiti when it became a nation in 1804? All of the slave-holding nation, which was white people. Okay. Now, they came into Haiti about 40, 50, 60 years as NGOs, International Snake Friends, Snake Core Group. They came in there talking about they have a solution for the place. They want to develop the place, but all they were doing
Oh,
was
she's talking about later on
looting.
though. So
More poverty came online like nothing the world have ever seen before. They took a healthy place, they made it sick. Now they're saying that let's not forget it. A lot of the white Haitians they get perm to make their hair look curly so they can look mixed race. Okay, just so you can have it out there. Lots and lots of the white Haitians in Haiti they wear perms so they can have a curly effect to their hair, so they can say that they're mixed Haitian. They're not
all
mixed.
right, so this is
They wear
not.
perms. Because an enclave where they at, that's all they do
I
is
have
wear
not
perms.
seen this one before, but she's talking about probably something else. I'm not sure what she's
They do that.
talking about,
Today,
but
how about hubris? So, 80% of the so-called white Haitians are French people from France that moved into Haiti, that are in the enclaves, that are going, we're Haitian. We speak Creole, people. What more do you want? We speak Creole. We listen to Haitian music. We cook Haitian food. We live here, but they're not telling where they live enclave. They live in the all white enclaves. Um, we need y'all to acknowledge us. And then, why won't y'all acknowledge us? Let the world know we're here. Let the world know this something called white Haitian. First of all, you're not white Haitian. We're not going to acknowledge you. You don't get to spend 232 years and say there's no such thing as Haitians. You don't get to spend 232 years, there's such thing as Haitian. In any video that you see recently, you guys still saying that. And then on Haitian terrain.
now I like I would say this though. I would hope that she is the voice of of most of the people, but I got a feeling she probably get just like us in Haiti. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you talking about? Like, they're like you see black people around the world, and we have this human. I guess maybe it's spooked out, but this humanitarian thing about us. You know what I'm saying? And we'll like I don't know. I'm not gonna. You want to say something else though, my brother?
Oh no, go ahead, bro. I'm going with the program.
Okay. No, yeah, jump in anytime, my brother. Because if I'm wrong, then correct me. You know, but I think that just like when they say they use specific terminology for specific things, you know what I'm saying? Because they try to downplay and hide a lot of the BS. You know, not to say that this was a particular thing that was hidden, but it's like the question that I have, you know, I don't know if when they say if only 400 some thousand people came to America, does that count only British, or was that including the Spanish territories, the French territories, the non-American territories at the time, or before, you know, or are they counting what became America? You know, maybe they counted all of it. I don't know. Do you know?
Okay. All right. Say that again. I'm trying to see where you was coming from with that. You go ahead. Say that again. Break that down for me.
No, okay, so I'm saying like, okay, well, what I'm saying is like when they be like, well, they chased a lot of the French out, you know, well, yeah, but not all of the Europeans were there. I'm saying people use certain terminology to make it appear that, and I'm not saying that they would just welcome like a bunch of white people, but when I
Okay,
was
okay, all
talking
right.
about the numbers thing, I'm saying
Okay,
like and then go in on that, but I'm also asking you when they say like 400 some thousand black people were brought to America, are they only talking about British colonies or are they talking about
okay,
period
I
all
got
of
you now.
them?
I got you now. I got you. Okay, two things. Okay, I'm gonna do both of them. Okay, the 400, the 400, or matter of fact, the sources that I look at is say between 400,000 and 700,000 Africans that they brought from the continent across the Atlantic to what is now to the colonial United States with the British. When you hear that the 1619, all that stuff, they talking about the British colonies. Okay, they only talking about that.
Not the
They
French,
talk
not
about
the
the British
Spanish, or
colonies.
none of that.
Yeah, okay, they not, when you hear like, just like your homeboy, our brother, Haki down in Richmond, when me and him, we had a discussion about this here on social media, where he was talking about the first Africans brought to the country. I said, brother Haki, the first Africans were brought here way before 1619. That's what me and him was talking about. And then he even said it to me. He said, well, he was talking about like our direct descendants as black people today, African American, black American people today. And he was talking about from Jamestown, from when the British brought them. But I said, Hakeem, the Spanish was in the southern part of the United States, in Florida, all in the Alabamas and Mississippi, and then the French were there. And they also brought Africans there. But see, he wasn't counting them. And I think that's where a lot of people, even some of us now today, because like I've heard brothers say, we started our history from 1619, which is stupid. But I'm saying, but the Spaniards brought Africans to what is now Georgia and South Carolina regions in 1526. That was the first rebellion of Africans in this country, 1526. So we're going to throw that away. Now, you know what I'm saying? The Spaniards have been bringing Africans to Florida since the 1550s and 1560s. When they settled down there. You know what I'm saying? And then the French were also bringing hundreds of thousands of Africans, coming from the Gulf of Mexico, from the Caribbean, from Africa, that whole end of the trade. So yeah, we too many times I think we only started with 1619 and with the British thing. You know what I'm saying? But there were actually hundreds of thousands of other Africans who were brought to other parts of the country by other of these European colonizers. Yeah. So that'll own that right there, yeah. But it is, for some reason, we just want to be known for being colonized by the British. You know what I'm saying? Well, those are our British masters, and you know what I'm saying? And the American English took over from them, so we
Well,
got to
yeah,
have
well, I
this
get it
British.
because they do that
Yeah,
because it became America, and like because
yeah,
English basically
exactly, yeah,
won.
yeah. But I mean, of course, like I said, in colonial Louisiana, which was a vast territory from the Gulf of Mexico all the way up to Canada. You know what I'm saying? The French imported Africans. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, and the Spanish imported Africans. They bought them directly from Africa and they bought them from the Caribbean. You know what I'm saying? So, at one period of time, all of us mixed. When we was talking about we talked about how they shipped Africans from the upper South to the deep South, to the lower South. Remember we talked about we got that same last name. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But
interstate slave trade. Yeah.
yeah. So I mean, so all of these people were blending. I got people I'm from North Louisiana. I got people from South Louisiana. From New
But
Orleans, from Opelousas, and all those places. When people would like, I got a cousin. I mean, she married into the Matwine family. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, but that's what
So
I'm
I mean,
saying though. Like you see how they manipulate stuff by the terminology. Like even that's
yeah.
why I'd be like, because they say persons, and even in this, like when you were saying, well, yeah, like some of the French left, but yeah, what about the Germans? What about the Polish? What about the white bitches? You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Yeah. Check it. Okay. Yeah. That's okay. I addressed that part about it's about the 400,000, 700,000. That was the other part I wanted to address. Okay. Now think of this here. Walk with me for a minute. Let's go back to what year we want to go back to. Let's say after the revolution. Let's say 1804. 1804. The Africans then kicked the French in the ass and ran them up out of there. What you got right now? You got an island country, island nation, a newly independent island nation that is, guess what? That there is an embargo around all of these, around this whole island. You got the Americans with an embargo against them. You got the French with an embargo against them. The European, all of them that got together and said, we're going to embargo. We're going to make, because see, we got to make an example of them. You know what I'm saying? They just defeated slavery, the slaveholders. They just defeated slavery here, and they could be example to all these other Africans all over the hemisphere. So they had an embargo. But white folks being white folks and seeing money before other shit. Okay, you had some say, well, look here, well, we could break the embargo. Look here. Let's go back in the back room and make a deal, with somebody with the the leadership in Haiti. Hey, look here, we'll do this here for y'all right here. And then, the English did that. And then the Spanish did that. And then the French, not the French, but then the Americans did that. Because if you read, and I know you'd have read the history, that the Americans back those making deals with Haiti, with the Haitian governments. You know what I'm saying? So here you go. You got this country. It's a brand new country. It's trying to build infrastructure. It's trying to build its economy. All this is so what we need to do. What every former colony do. Even you see it right now in Africa. That's why I say Haiti was a blueprint for how they would colonize Africa. You know what I'm saying? Okay, you come in, we get loans from here, from this government and from this government. You know what I'm saying? Or you allow these Europeans to come in, establish businesses and everything, and start to control your mercantile economy, your local economy. That's how you get those Europeans and Palestinian Arabs and Lebanese and all these other people who come in, and set up shop. You know what I'm saying? And because they can import shit from other places that you can't get it from. You know what I'm saying? That's how that whole thing started, right? That's the explanation for that right there, okay? That's how you get these other people, like you say, the other Europeans beside the French and other people. This was a new nation, and these people was trying, regardless. I mean, we ain't talking about whether they right or wrong. I'm just explaining what happened, how it happened. We trying to get something started. We trying to build something. And it just is how it happened. And it's the same thing you see in Africa.
Yeah, but all right. Look, I want to show you something, and then I will say something to what you just said, right? Now, because I was gonna show this later, but I guess it's a perfect time for it, right? So, I don't know if you ever put in, when has Haiti not had barriers to export goods, right? So Haiti has never experienced a historical period completely free of barriers to exporting goods. From its originally as a newly independent nation in 1804, when foreign powers imposed a long diplomatic and economic blockade, to modern structural, political, logistical hurdles, basically, yeah. So these is all of the ones from the early 19th century, right? So like you spoke about the ones before the 19 or in the 1800s. So you spoke about those ones, right? So then you had the embargo era in the 90s, right? So but you never actually had a period where they weren't facing some type of uh embargo, right? And we remember um how well, I remember when they, did this thing where they wouldn't even let them ship out rice and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure you remember that too, right? And, to bring it up, speaking of all of these things, right? We already know how these fools got in there, right? Um, let's pick one. I ain't watched none of these,
In
but
this world, there will always be people who stand to gain out the tragedy of others. We have seen it countless times where people end up fake GoFundMe's, people videotaping themselves helping the homeless, the BLM organization using funds to financially enrich themselves, and the rare with Haiti. So, since they had those feelings for my country, let me ask, how did they go about showing it? Well, I know. So let's start off with Bill. During his presidency in the 1990s, he completely destroyed Haiti's agricultural economy by creating massive surpluses of crops, such as rice, through expending hundreds of millions of dollars in subsidies to U.S. farmers, then forcing Haiti to drop tariffs on rice imported from America from 50% to 3%, causing the Haitian market to be flooded with this cheap American rice, then ordered a crippling embargo, which resulted in thousands upon thousands of farmers to lose their land and livelihoods. As
not the first black president.
Secretary of State, 2009 became Hillary's time to show her love for Haiti. So she
No, wait. He would be the third black president. You had Lincoln was the first black president. The second black president was JFK, and then Bill Clinton was the third. All right, so yeah, Bill Clinton was the third black president, yo.
Made the redevelopment of Haiti one of her top priorities. With this in mind, you would think her love and deep connection with Haiti will bring something good for the Haitian people. But you're wrong. One of her first acts involved suppressing Haiti's minimum wage, which a 2009 Haitian law would have raised from 24 cents to 61 cents an hour. But let me cut her some slack. It was a concern.
Oh, I'm muted. My bad. Buwana, you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
What up? Yeah, what up, my brother?
Oh, shout out to my good brothers, Anthony and Forecast. This is an interesting story, Forecast. I want to ask Anthony a question before, but I just want to address this thing because sometimes sometimes people in America don't understand why some of the Haitians in South Florida go Republican, but they don't understand this story, which you're telling right here, and how the Clintons, who are Democrats, by the way, went inside Haiti and what they did inside Haiti. And I don't think that this has not necessarily been explained to a lot of the Black Americans. So they look at the Haitian side was like, why all voting for Trump? Why all voting Republican? But this is some of the reason for that right here. What you explaining right here. But I wanted to ask Anthony, bro, why you like Erzuli Danto and Jamina? What you like about them? That's the question I ask you, bro. I don't want to interrupt the program Forecast. You could go ahead, bro. You can go ahead. I don't want to interrupt you.
Nah, go ahead, my brother. Go ahead.
Okay. Hey, Buona, what's going on, man?
Good, bro. Good.
Well, okay. All right. Hey, okay. Okay. Check this out. Buona, I didn't say that I like them. I was just saying that they somebody who would they Haitians and they end up they into the political scene. They into the what's going on in Haiti. Now, Jemima Pierre, I've listened to the sister and everything. Some of the things she talked about. Azili Danto, I listen at her a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? I think she's a genuine person from what I've gathered about her. You know what I'm saying? Okay. What I have, I've listened to several interviews that she did. Now, I don't claim to know her 100%, but I mean, from what I've heard from her, I think she was I think she's pretty straight. But I want okay. What I want to say, was it something else you wanted to ask me about that?
No, because Anthony, you are a brother from Louisiana, and you are very practical dude. And I just would want to say, be careful of the cultural nationalists, right? Because the cultural nationalists, they always go back to the days of glory, but they don't never talk about what's happening on the ground right now. Right now, have you heard? What's her name? Erzuli Danto, a black woman with a Haitian god name. Have you ever heard even talk about this TPS situation with Trump? You ever even heard her yet even speak on that?
Yeah, I heard she was talking about it. Yeah.
What she say?
Yeah, she was talk about a whole bunch of bull, a whole bunch of stuff. I had a video. If I can find the video, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna try to send it to Forecast. But she talked about it a lot. She was the one who called out was one of the first ones who called out Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton.
I see.
Okay, when they had that fund that had like $18 billion and everybody want to know where the money where it went to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, she called that out. Oh, she put them on blast. She's not a pro-Democrat or none of that shit there. She's just a Haitian. You know what I'm saying? She's the one who called that out.
Brother Anthony, I was on a panel with her one time, and I asked her a question. I was like, well, why didn't the Haitians liberate the other islands around them, like Cuba, Jamaica, and the Bahamas? She got mad at me. She got very mad at me. But
okay, but check it out, Buona. Guess what? Hold on, Buona, for a minute.
Yes, sir.
Guess what?
Yes,
okay, all right. I can understand it, but we didn't have this conversation before. On another panel.
Yeah,
I can understand that, Paul. You know what that's almost like asking Buona. That's almost like saying, like as we as African people here in the United States, and as African people in the Bahamas, or in the Caribbean and other parts, it's like us asking a continental African why y'all sold us in slavery.
Hey, can I say something to that though?
You know what I'm saying? It's actually, look here, Bwana, even better than that.
But
Not
Anthony,
that part. Look here, but
Anthony,
let me say this up. This is important.
Go ahead.
Asking us why y'all didn't sail over here and rescue us. Well, I done heard a lot of them say that. Why y'all didn't come rescue us?
Oh, okay.
You know
I
what I'm saying?
understand. I understand that. But
knowing that the fact that they were under duress too, they from the European colonizers and what Haiti, like we said, they was under embargo and threatened to be invaded again. They couldn't fuck with nobody else.
Anthony, you a historical man. You a historical man. You know full well what's the name of the president of Venezuela. They went to get arms from the Haitian president to have a revolution in that country.
Thank you, Bwana. Thank you. Thank you.
So if you could do that, if you could do that for Venezuela, why you couldn't do it for the rest of the Caribbean?
Okay, I'm gonna tell you now. Hold up, forecast. I got him. I got it. Look here, I'm gonna tell you why. Okay, see what I'm saying, Bwana. It's always important for us to read and to know context. I always stress context. Okay, that situation where you talking about now was not the Haitian government. Okay, look, at this time, okay, this was after Dessalines' death, assassination. Henri Christophe became the new president. Henri Christophe decided to become king. In the south of Haiti, the mulatto leader led a rebellion. He declared a republic in the south. Alexander Pétion. Now, Christophe was a legitimate president, the king, the legitimate leader. But Pétion, he said, no, we ain't gonna be under black rule. And so in the south, in the southern peninsula of Haiti, he established the Republic of Haiti. It was Alexander Pétion who dealt with Simon Bolivar. You know what I'm saying? He gave sanctuary to them. It wasn't the Haitian government. The Christophe that was the official government. No, Pétion then was like the rebel government, the de facto, the ones who had broke away. They were the breakaway republic. And he was the one who gave sanction to Simon Bolivar. That's how that went right there.
I see. That's cool. Like, I want to ask you another question. The same sister, forecast. I ain't cutting your show. I don't want to interrupt your show, brother.
No, go ahead. Ask a question. No, yeah, so y'all on topic though.
So that sister, what her name? Jermaine, the lady, the
Jermaine Pierre.
She sits in New York City. York City, and she criticizes countries like my own country and say, well, we speak poorly about the Haitians and this and that, whatever.
And you from the Bahamas,
right? Because most of the Haitians, before they go to South Florida, they come through the Bahamas, and many of them live here. The Bahamians have been sharing the resources with the Haitians for decades. I ain't talking about what some rank and file person saying on the street. I'm talking about what we have actually done. The government has done. The Haitians go to the hospitals here for free. They go to the schools here for free. They send millions of dollars to back to Haiti, right? For their families over there. And when I hear us sitting platforms saying that, oh, these Bahamians, this and that, another thing, I'm saying, where you get that from? It's one thing for a man to talk negatively about someone. But if I'm actively sharing my resources for you on a day-to-day basis, you have Haitians who come and get jobs here and able to build houses in Haiti and shit like that. So I'm saying, where's the love? Where's the reciprocity first and foremost? And where's the love? You talking crazy shit. You sit in your ivory towers in New York City. You probably never lived in the Caribbean before. You probably is a Haitian person who was born and grew up in America. You talking about Caribbean people in your ivory towers in New York City. I have a problem with that, Anthony. I have a fucking problem with that, bro. I have a problem with that.
Yeah. Hey, Bwana, can I ask you a question, Bwana? Before y'all, hey, hold on. Can I ask you a question before y'all go on?
Oh, sorry. Yes, sir.
As Americans, right? Me and like some of the people in the chat, right? We're just American educated, you know what I'm saying? So is there like, even because I don't hear much about the Bahamians, because I hear about it with other groups of black people. So is there something going on with like Bahamian? Like, I know what you're saying right now, but is there like talk of like like, well, the Bahamians like don't let the Haitians come here, like, you know, like how they
They
would be
they
like,
have
what?
they have issue. We have issue. Let me tell you what happened. The Bahamian society. We are the so-called one of the wealthier Caribbean countries, but we have very limited resources. Very limited. The population of the Bahamas is 400,000. Right. The Haiti is one of the closest nations to the Bahamas. Them and Cuba. The Haiti population is 8 million. Okay. Now, many of them come over here for opportunity, things of that nature, right? But when you come here, so quote unquote illegally, illegally, what that does is stretches the resources of the people who live within the country. And some Bahamians have an issue with that. Some Bahamians, not all. Like I say,
Gotcha,
the
gotcha.
government has been helpful for much of the Bahamian Haitian population for decades. After the hurricane and the earthquake, we helped like hundreds and hundreds of thousands of Haitians come here to go to school for free. We provided them with social services, and that's not never stated. But when you hear someone online talking crazy about Haitians and stuff like that, that's an independent person talking. I'm talking about what the government as a whole has done for the Haitians, for the Haitian people, for in practice, indeed, not in talking, indeed. So this ism and schism and rift, the Haitians been our brothers for years. We've been traveling back, and when there was a president called Duvalier. Duvalier was the Haitian president in Haiti at one particular point in time when they had a stable government. There are people from the Bahamas who went to university at the University of Haiti because the government was stable. You know what I mean? So we always had this intercourse with the people from Haiti coming here back and forth. It just so happens if people continue to come to your country, after a while, if we only 400,000 and they 8 million, what do you think is going to eventually happen? What do you think is going to eventually happen? You know what I mean? So some people have a concern about that. Some people, not everyone. It's a complex issue. Forecast. I don't mean to get into it tonight right now because you
Well, you
really
know,
talking about something else, brother. Yeah, you
no,
talking
no,
about
no. Well,
something
that's
else.
the topic, and
Yeah.
it's very educational for me because you know, I didn't know that, but I'll let y'all finish y'all conversation, and then we'll
Yeah.
finish up.
Yeah. Okay. And like, and to put it in some context. Okay. First of all, Bonner, I hear what you're saying. I sympathize. I empathize with what you're saying. You know, it's how I feel when I be so Pan-African and so loving of all black people, and somebody come on and always calling me FBA. You know what I'm saying? And talk about this FBA shit all the
Hey,
time. I'm
I
not
don't
talking
want to
about
hear
you.
y'all bring up.
No,
Nah,
hey,
I'm
hold
gonna
on,
be
just hang on
quiet.
for a minute. Hey, and Bon, I'm not talking about you, but I'm just saying when people say that, when I'm like, hey man, you know, I'm not a part of that. I'm for all black people. But when people always constantly saying that, it make me like it's like a slap in the face to me. So I would be as a Bahamian, of course, if I heard some shit like that, yeah, I would be. I feel in a certain way too. You know what I'm saying? And you know me, I already know about the little tension thing in the country. I heard about it. Matter of fact, I brought it
Yeah,
up to you before.
it's a Caribbean. It's kind of like
Uh,
a Caribbean kind of
uh,
tribalist thing,
yeah,
and we Pan
uh,
Africans, and it's all love. So I
yeah,
really don't like to get into
uh,
that kind of
yeah,
conversation.
yeah.
You
I
Well,
know?
no,
got you.
no,
What I'm
no.
what
I
I'm
want
saying,
y'all
folks,
to.
is,
No, I want
but see,
y'all
I
to
was
do
saying,
that though. You know.
okay, yeah, okay, we are. But I'm saying what we are. I understand what Buono's talking about. Bahamas only has a population, what, like a 500,000, a little bit under that or whatever. And you talk about a landmass of only about 6,000 square miles. There's a bunch of islands and keys. It's not a big country. In Haiti, for record, Haiti has 10, 11 million people. You know what I'm saying? About 10 to 11 million last time I looked. What I'm saying is, so I can understand that. Yeah, 100%. I mean, it makes sense. You know what Buono's talking about. Like I say, you know, 10 million versus a 500,000. You know what I'm saying? What we gonna do? You know, we have limited resources and all that. I understand that, Bonner. And I mean, I'm in empathy with you on that. Now, as far as these sisters who I called out, I don't know them personally. You know, I've listened to them and I've talked, you know, and they say sometimes people they say good things sometimes, and they may say things that other people may disagree with. Like as far, especially like the Pierre sister, I know Jemima Pierre, you know, because anybody who move around with community movement builders and Jared Ball, them, you know, I mean, they suspected me anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But I listen to learn from people though, know to hear their
yeah.
points of view and everything.
Sure.
You know,
And the thing is, with them sisters, they are in the United States of America, okay, and
yeah,
they are very educated sisters, and they
yeah.
kind of have a different kind of reality, as opposed to living and being on the ground in here. When Wyclef ran for president in Haiti, the biggest thing is he didn't know, he was supposed to know that you have to live in Haiti for consistently for 5 years. So this is the
Yeah.
reason why he wasn't elected to be Haiti. I'm like, you as a Haitian person, you are too far away from Haitian problems to be the one as a spokesman for Haitian problems. You understand? Even though he's a Haitian, if you understand what I'm saying, you too
Yeah,
far
he
away,
was born
brother.
in Haiti
You need
though.
to come closer to see what's
Yeah.
happening before you could speak on behalf of Haitian people in Haiti. That's the only difference, brother.
Almost like he would be like a tether or something.
That's it.
Hey, brother, I just want to ask you this other thing though. Like I want to ask you this: when you were starting the conversation, what did you mean about the cultural nationalist stuff? That's what I want to know about.
Cultural. She's a cultural nationalist, which means that there are some of
I
my
mean, I know
brothers.
what it means. I wonder what you
Right.
meant by that.
I feel that because you just tell me just now she talked about the TPS problem in the United States, in South Florida, what's happening and in New York City, what's happening on the ground. I feel, and this could just be a sentiment. I feel that sometimes the cultural nationalists, when they addressing things, they go back to the days of yonder, our greatness, and that's wonderful to talk about. But there are some practical issues and practical matters we got to work out on the ground in 2026. And I feel like sometimes the cultural nationalists, they are very ideological and sometimes they are not practical. This is the problem I have with them sometimes. If you're a
Okay, now
cultural nationalist, it is what it is, brother. Yeah.
Wait, hold on, because
no, no,
I want y'all to talk about like I want to show you this, right?
yeah,
Because I'm not
but
even
I
gonna
wanted to
say
say
it,
this
but
real quick. Okay, I
I'm
want.
gonna let you go in.
Okay,
But
go ahead,
look,
go ahead,
because
go ahead, go
it's
ahead.
to what y'all saying, because this is what I'm saying. I want y'all to have this conversation because I was going to bring something like this up, but this is better than I could do. So shouts out to the
But
ancestors
see,
or
you're gonna
whatever.
make me lose my train of thought now.
No, well, this is to what y'all saying though, but don't be like quick, like look, so all right, so Jamaica, right? And offering asylum to Haitian things. And we knew Kenya had that thing with them going there. And then we know the Dominican Republic versus Haiti, you know what I'm saying? And this whole thing, and then what you saying with the Bahamian thing, but a lot of people do seem to have a problem like sometimes with the Haitians and saying like, yo, that's why I'm like want y'all to talk about like the like don't try to like cupcake with y'all conversation. Say what you feel, you know what I'm saying? Put it out there so we can I want to hear it.
Yeah, I was just gonna do it. What I was gonna say to my brother Buana. Okay, he talked about the cultural national thing. I think that I don't know, Buana, if I'm what I'm hearing you say, if I'm getting it wrong, whatever, you can let me know. But I don't think that all cultural nationalists go I mean, like reminisce about our past history and everything. It's definitely don't mean it definitely ain't none of that for me. I know about our past history, but I mean, I can sit up and have a conversation about what's happening today. You know what I'm saying? And if you ever seen that video where she was doing, as Illy does her, what she was doing, when she was talking about with the Clint after it was during the earthquake. You know what I'm saying? If you ever listen to that video, it was about an hour long, where she was going in on everything that was happening, on the ground right there. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I give her props for that, and she was in Haiti. So I'm saying, I
Cool.
don't.
I
That's what I'm trying
respect
to
that.
understand what the cultural nationalist thing is. I mean, I think you could be a cultural nationalist and still be up on what's happening today too. You know what
Yes,
I'm
you
saying? It
could be.
don't have to be
Yes.
all you think about is the past. Because I know I live today, and all I think about ain't the past. You know what I'm saying? I
Yes.
think about everything now, and I can have those conversations.
But Anthony, I'm not talking about people like yourself. And you just
Okay.
re-referenced what the sister is talking
No,
about.
that's why I was asking what you meant. That's why I said.
No, I am saying what I am saying is there seems to be that let me don't say all, like I never say all, some. When I hear the cultural nationalists having discussions, we go back, and I'm saying that there is not to say that there's not there is a place where that is very important. Like people, like I say, the Bitter Medicine podcast, and when you are on forecast, you all are educated people, so y'all could explain in a way how the past and the present, it kind of like coincides with one another, and see what we could do going forward. But for me, it seems like some of the brothers and sisters, not all, some of the brothers and sisters, they wear the daishikis, You know what I mean? They eat African food and things like that, whatever. But it seems to me that they are not addressing present day issues, looking forward to the future, and where we trying to move this ship, where the ship is gonna eventually go. It seems to me is going backwards, and this is some of the issues that I have with them from time to time. Now, I'm not saying all do that. There's this brother out of Washington D.C. His name is Obi Obena, something like that. You know what I
Obi
mean?
Wan know him.
Yeah. He contacted me because he wanted to do a reading program in the Bahamas, but the Bahamians is almost 100% literate. That's not really a problem we have here. Even though I understand its importance, but that's not a real problem we need to address here. There are other issues that we need to put on the table and have dialogues about. This issue right now in the Bahamas right now, I used to teach a class to Haitians who coming from Haiti. I used to teach them about the Bahamian Constitution and what their rights are when they come here, either as legal or illegal people here. Some of them can't even speak English. You know what I mean? And that'll wreck your brain trying to explain to people who don't even speak English coming off the boat, because they black just like me and I have an ideological bent. So I feel like there's a purpose and a need in me trying to inform them, here's what you do, bro. Under the table, here's what you could do. It is, I guess, it's an underground railroad and how I approach the situation. I am saying with some of these sisters and brothers, they get on television. Like this lady, Erzuli Danto, she was sitting next to Tariq Nasheed talking about 1804, which is absolutely fine. I respect that. But I'm saying, what are you doing for your community right now? They're sending Haitians back. How are you helping and assisting them transition back from the United States into Haiti? What are you doing? Let me know. Let me know so I can get behind it, send some money there. Because Trump's sending them anyways. So what are they going to do when they get back? They're getting back with nothing? And you telling me about 1804? You understand what I'm saying, Anthony? Or no?
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. My only thing, and I don't really have a problem with it, but I mean, why can't you be both? I mean, why can't she talk about the past, the history, the historical aspect, and also the present day thing?
She can.
What I'm saying, Buona, we actually, we don't know what she's doing on the ground in Haiti. She might be doing something. I'm just saying, I don't know. Neither one of us know.
No, I'm not trying to have a go at it. I'm not trying to have a go at her. You wanted me to explain my issues.
I mean, I heard what you said. I got that. I got that part. Brother, I got that part. It'll be just like me. If me and you say if we on shoot the breeze, no, we talking about things on the show and everything. We may not be talking about like stuff that we doing. You know what I'm saying? Because it ain't for everybody on these social media to know what we doing. You know what I'm saying? I don't need Barter might not need to tell me some of that stuff that he doing down in the Bahamas or wherever else. Because other people listening. And they don't need to know about that. Because you know how they do when we get together and do stuff, we always got people trying to stop us from doing it.
That's true.
And so all I'm saying is let's don't even say her. Let's just say any activist, Haitian activist or whatever you see on television. They could be very well doing something on the ground, but they're not talking about it. Because remember, one thing about it, I could go to the Bahamas. I could be an activist in the Bahamas. Let's say even back when Lyndon Pendleton was president. I might get in trouble for some things I said. I might get a little small jail term or whatever. But in Haiti, you're going to get killed. You know what I'm saying? You're going to get hit. You'll get killed down there. You know what I'm saying? If you was on the Francois Duvalier, Papa Doc down, and say something about the government, you can get killed. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, look, because I want Wabawana here, right, before you go, because I'm going to come back to this here, because I had a conversation with somebody, which is why I'm even doing this, about, Haiti, and let's not just quick to be like, I get it, right? I get what Bawana is saying, and I get what Anthony is saying, and I feel like maybe there is no middle ground, but we also do have to be careful with the talking points that we use. But even like the conversation that I had was about Haitians being just this violent thing, and even in America, they're like, well, Haitians eat dogs, and all of these talking points to get them exported in the first place, right? So and then they sent me some video, but this is not the video they sent me, but I'll play that one. But uh you'll hear other Haitian people saying this, you know.
Every day we receive phone calls. What are we doing? Because everyone is afraid. Everyone is. I myself, I have my sister who still lives in Haiti. So can you imagine? We were supposed to meet this week, but she cannot travel. And we don't know exactly what the outcome is going to be for anybody, because at any given time, the gang can decide where they want to go. And even churches, like, yesterday they called me, some of the local churches in Haiti were dilapidated, and burned down. So which means that everyone who is in Haiti right now, their lives are in danger. And everyone is so worried and concerned. And that's the reason why we are calling for this sense of urgency for us, for the Biden administration to do something, to at least protect lives. Because right now, they are dead in the street. Nobody can even go to remove them from the street. So that's how bad the situation is. Everyone is worried.
All right, and also let me show. Maybe this one won't be as good of one as this, but
So
example.
what I want for Haiti, I don't want no president. I want a government. Someone American to make them straight. Everybody want to be a president to make money in his pocket. They're not gonna do nothing for nobody. And people suffering for food, for money, for work, for living. No, it's not right. And I want to go to see my people, but I can't. I scare. People who were selling drugs here, they go back to Haiti, they kidnap people for money. If you go, they're gonna keep you. That's why I don't go.
And what this person sent me was this, right? And I think, like, because
Days
one
of
thing that they
violence,
always do.
armed gangs sweep across several northern neighborhoods in Haiti's capital. More than 40 were treated for gunshot wounds in just 12 hours. 500 residents have been forced to flee their homes with little more than the.
Now, keep in mind, when this person sent it to me, I was like, yo, keep in mind, this is the French news, right? First and foremost, because like this is a common theme throughout history. Well, these people are so dilapidated, you know what I'm saying, for whatever reason, because they're just so ignorant and savages. Like, forget this hundreds of years of history of why they're in this situation that they're in the first place, and then to like put it on like, yo, because if we were half as violent as they say, they wouldn't have been like, well, not all white people, not all French, you know what I'm saying, like with this welcoming. And but black people around the world got this welcoming attitude, you know what I'm saying. But we also believe a lot of talking points that middlemen give to us about each other. Because even when y'all talking about Bahamian, Jamaica, I thought we threw all that stuff out. Y'all said we black, you know what I'm saying? So we shouldn't even, ain't no such thing as Bahamian, ain't no such thing as Haiti. So I don't know, I'm lost on this whole conversation, because we just black, right? But I get that there is local politics and local history and local issues and local whatever, what I'm saying. But we believe what the middlemen tell us about each other. And it's important to me that people that I love don't say ignorant stuff, because you sound like the damn clan that I'm talking to. I don't even want to talk to a lot of people about race stuff, because we believe anything somebody else tell us. But we show all 52 teeth when somebody else come into these places,
Clothes on their backs.
During the shooting, I fled with the baby. My husband was running, and I was running with him. He went back to get some clothes. While he was getting the clothes, they killed him inside the house.
This woman has returned to her home despite her experiences.
On Saturday, they killed 3 people in front of us. We resisted and stayed around. On Sunday, around 6 p.m., they attacked the area and started to burn houses, kill animals, and cut people's heads off. It is our good feet that saved us. I know of 7 people who have been killed and others who have been shot.
The ongoing crisis in Haiti worsened in 2024 when gangs forced the country's prime minister to resign. There hasn't been a functioning government since. And now the latest violence has forced out humanitarian organizations attempting to provide health services, at least temporarily. We found ourselves with more than 800
Really
displaced
white,
people inside the hospital
white hero,
compound,
John Brown.
while stray bullets were also falling at the same time.
Well, anyway, yo, so y'all brothers could tell me, you know what I'm saying? Am I tripping now? This person was like, yo, I can understand what the people going at the government, but when you terrorizing like local citizens and doing all of these things, you know, and I'm like, I don't know. So y'all brothers tell me, was I wrong or was that person right? Because I would agree with that statement in theory, you know, but I also know the whole history that happened. So what do y'all brothers think about that, you know?
Forecast. Here's what I would say. The first thing I would say is this: don't never trust the French. Yeah, don't never trust the French because the French are historical liars. The same way they lie about Haiti, they lie about Burkina Faso. That's the first thing I would say. The second thing is ask yourself this question, brother. They say that Haiti is one of the poorest countries in the Western Hemisphere. You ever heard that before? So how is it? So how is it? How is it that these guys are able to get military assault weapons and the bullets that you need to use? Bullets ain't cheap, brother. Bullets is extremely expensive. Extremely expensive. How is these poor Haitian men living in Haiti in utter poverty able to access the guns and the bullets to use it? Nobody asks this question. Why? Because there's an unseen hand who is benefiting from the chaos in Haiti. You have drug men. The way a lot of the Colombian drugs get get to the Americas, they used to come through the Bahamas, but because of regulation and them stiffening the borders in the Bahamas, especially working with the American government, Haiti is a territory that's wide open, and no one is looking there. So a lot of the drugs is coming out of Colombia. The stop off point to get gas or refuel is in Haiti. It used to be the Bahamas, now it's in Haiti. A lot of that drug trafficking is going through there. You know what I mean? That's one of the unseen hands in Haiti. Then you have the American government. The American government has a quote unquote this thing called a free zone. A free zone. This is where a lot of the corporations where they make the jeans and baseball and all the products that's sold in the stores in the United States of America, they have a free zone where they pay Haitians little to no money to put together these things before they ship to Haiti, from Haiti to the Americas. So you have these unseen hands, they're making sure the wages stay extremely low in Haiti. Extremely low. And some people are fighting against that. Then you have the aristocracy in Haiti. The what do you call it? No, not the petit blanc, the grand blanc, the big white boys, the Syrians, who you never really see these Haitians. These people live in palatial palaces in Haiti. You don't never see the parts of Haiti that's extremely well. Don't you know they have billionaires living in Haiti? They living in compounds with extremely wealthy. They make millions of dollars in Haiti. And the question becomes how? Because somebody is benefiting from the chaos. They don't want a central government in Haiti because the central government is going to start regulating a lot of the things. And now you can't do certain things that you used to do because it's not the Wild West anymore. America used to be the Wild West. You know what I mean? Where anything goes. And the capitalists could do anything they wanted to do, unregulated. But with a central government, you can't do that anymore. So they want people like Hillary Clinton, they want Haiti to always stay in a chaotic state, whether it's for racial reasons, historical reasons, or economic reasons. And these things are not being explained to the American people. So they just look at Haiti without context and say, well, these people that can't get their shit together, without understanding context, because context is very important.
Well, and I'm gonna let my brother Anthony go, but my brother, you literally said what I said word for word. I was like, I literally said first, you know what I'm saying? Well, this is the French, you know what I'm saying? I literally said that. And then so much so I was like, yeah, how did they get the guns? Because we in America, it's like the same thing. Like we ain't got no planes. How we get the dope? You know what I'm saying? They're in there. How they get all these American guns in the place? So much so that I even put it in. I ain't
have time to look up a
80%
specific
of the,
video, but
according to the some of the reports, UN reports, 80% of the guns and ammunition that the gangs are using actually they come from the US. And there's an entire, I would say, there's an entire drug arms trade between Jamaica and Haiti. It's created an entire, I would say, an entire hub in the middle of the Caribbean, dealing with drug trafficking, dealing with arms and other illicit goods. So that's definitely a big factor that kind of like enable the gangs and give them the capacity to.
wait, and I had another one. I forgot where it was, but where are they getting their weapons?
But would you say that currently the gangs in Haiti have access to more powerful weapons than gangs in other countries?
Currently, what we're seeing is that indeed there is a significant import of arms in Haiti. But if you see,
Yeah, I'm sorry, Buwana. They wouldn't listen to you, so you had to get a lighter skinned person lighter skinned thing to explain it for
they need
you.
someone with an accent, with an American accent, you see.
But yo, go ahead, my brother Anthony.
Okay. That was a great commentary about my brother Buana, man. Hey, matter of fact, just to say, hey, did you hear a name that Buana called? What that I told you, Forecast? What I said about those Syrians?
Oh yeah.
We heard what Buana said, those
Arabs, not
Syrians.
me.
Well, I told you those Syrian Arabs. What I told you about those Syrians. This the funny thing. The funny thing. Let me say this first. Buana, everything that you had just said, which was 100% right. 100% spot on. I can't disagree with nothing you said. Guess what, Buana? On that show that I was at, on that interview, Azila Denso said the same thing you said.
Did she?
We're almost word for word.
I see. Oh, it's cool.
Hey,
No,
look here, almost word for
I don't
word.
want you to feel like I get answers.
Hold on, no. Listen to me.
Yeah.
It ain't nothing. See, it ain't nothing. It ain't about that. I could care less about it, about what this woman doing. All I'm saying is she said the same thing you said. You know what I'm saying? Everything you said, she said it word for word. She broke it down just like you did. Almost everything. That's why when you said it, I said I'm not going to interrupt Buana for nothing. I want to hear this. You know what I'm saying? Everything you said, she said the same thing.
But Anthony, I see you, a person like you, I would have thought that you know these things. Yeah, I mean, you know these things already. You know these things because you know about my government.
I already knew it, Buana. All I'm trying to tell you is that what you said, she said the same thing. But but you got a problem with her. When she said she agreed with, she said what you said.
I have a little bit of, but let me ask you a question. Let me ask you all brothers.
Okay, so I can finish my point. Go ahead.
Yeah.
And by the way, before you say that, and whoever Mentalog is, you can come on here if you want to. But go ahead, my brother.
Yeah, but my thinking is you in the United States of America, you all know these things already. Yeah, y'all should know these things. These things ain't foreign to the I used to think that because y'all aware all the information is. So it's like automatically y'all know what's going on. So it's y'all wouldn't look at the Caribbean or Haitians and say, well, something wrong with them because y'all understand context better than everyone else does.
No, that's not true.
I got you.
That's not true.
I mean, the point. Yeah, but the part I'm missing is what I'm kind of missing something. Okay, we should know. Well, look at number one. All black folks in America are not all politically educated into this kind of thing. They dealing with their everyday life and don't care about what's going on in the Caribbean, Africa, anywhere else. We different guys because it is us being black nationalists, being Pan Africanists, being Garveyites, whatever. These things are important to us. Of course, yes, brother. I know about it because I've been studying for a long time. And another thing, what you were saying about, I like what you're saying. Haiti, this thing they say about Haiti is the poorest country. We already know Haiti ain't poor. Haiti has vast gold reserves. That's why they're down there trying to get that gold. That's one part. Another thing, they just discovered this huge petroleum reserves up under Haiti. You know what I'm saying? They say it's vast. These oil and gas, natural gas reserves. And another thing, those mountains that you see in Haiti, those mountains that the African ancestors used to hide in, the Maroons hide in, those mountains are made of a metal called iridium. Iridium. And it's such a hard surface, and it's what the Americans they could use it for their space program. Because it won't, you know how when they send those rockets up in space, they be blowing up because they get overheated. Well, this metal is one of the hardest surfaces. It's one of the toughest surfaces that it won't burn. You know what I'm saying? Those mountains in Haiti, they're made of iridium. No, it's a whole thing about this, a whole video when he was talking about this. So of course Haiti is not poor. We know it. They always talk about Haiti having like all of the forests gone and all what that other word when you cut down all your trees and stuff and how the mud and the grass, that soil erosion. Man, it ain't nothing like that, man. They got plenty of forests and trees down there. You know what I'm saying? Plenty of it. Well, see, so they try to make this image of Haiti of being this place, you know what I'm saying? And like you said, they always destabilizing the government. You know what I'm saying? That's the Americans, the French, the Canadians, the European corporations and everything. Like they was just trying to displace, they've been trying for a long time to displace a lot of the Haitian farm workers, like agriculture people in that region called in Central Haiti, the Artibonite Valley. That's the main agriculture valley. They've been trying to displace them out and open up American corporations there. You know what I'm saying? To exploit all of the goods and services there. So yes, man, yeah, of course, Bonner, yeah, I know it. You know it. We all know it. Well, I'm saying most black people don't, because most black people don't give a damn. Most black people don't know where the hell Haiti is in America. They don't know where it's at. They don't give a damn. You know what I'm saying? When they see them, fuck them Haitians, you know what I'm saying? No, just because we live in America don't mean you got education. You know, you got miseducation in America. It's the public food system, not the public school system.
Yeah, I don't know
You know
where
what I'm saying?
stuff
We
is
don't know
on
a
the
damn
map.
thing.
Yeah,
You know,
I
hey,
don't know.
Buona, what was that, Buona? Just like this here, like back when we talked on the show. How many Black American people you think could talk to you about bow legs them in the Bahamas?
Nobody.
You know what I'm saying?
You know, only
When we talk
person I
that, so I'm
think is
saying
you.
we don't know none of
Only
that.
you. Only you.
That's what I'm saying. So you think most Black,
That's why.
think most Black Americans know about bow legs then? You know what I'm saying?
No.
So it ain't no political education here. It's political dumbed down education. So yes, you're right, Bonner. Yeah, we know. And I'm saying, and all I'm saying, man, you know, man, I know I may say something a certain way. I don't, I mean, I ain't no shero worshiper, hero worshiper, anybody. But all I was just saying was, it was ironic when you was breaking down all of the things you were breaking down. I was just saying the sister said the same thing you said.
No, and I don't want to disparage to say if she is doing things that are on the ground, I don't want to disparage her. I just I explain it to you, and it's not all. It's just not all. It's just that sometimes when I hear some of the brothers who culturally, aware, they go back and they deal with Egypt and they deal with 1804 and things like that, and that's a great thing. It's always good to promote yourself in the greatest way possible. But I say great men can be great again, and I say why don't we do it again? Let's try it again. You know, so it's like where do we start? You know, and I feel like sometimes the conversation goes backwards instead of starting where you are. You know.
Yeah, but that's just the thing about it. Hey, Buana, that's the thing about it. Remember, we follow the teachings of Marcus Garvey. There's a difference between what we follow, you know what I'm saying, and the updated thing, we adopted to our modern time. What I'm saying, it's a difference between, people get us confused. Sometimes they'll hear us, if we say something, anything, black countries, whatever, they automatically put us in. I'm talking about me, you, Koku, Forecast, they put us in the Hotep category.
Is that right?
We're a Hotep. I'm not a Hotep. I don't even like the word. It make you a Hotep. Just because you know history of your Hotep. Hell, man, look here. We can talk about everything going on now. You know what I'm saying? We talk about what's going on in Burkina Faso now. We talk about what's going on in South Africa now. You know what I'm saying? We talk about what's going on in Kenya now, Jacadero. You know what I'm saying? We always talk about current events. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, we have to be careful not to put each other in categories and stuff. That's what I'm saying.
No, absolutely. No. Absolutely.
Just because I might know this or you might know this, that ain't the only thing, Hey, Dr. Khalid Muhammad, what he said for gas, when Donahue asked him, well, what are you doing? What you doing right now? Concrete on the ground. And Dr. Carter looked at him and said, "No wise general give away his battle plans before the enemy."
That's true. That's true. That's true. Anthony, when I heard that what that brother did in Shreveport, Louisiana, the first thing I say was where Anthony is. I was like, where Anthony? Where Anthony? I was like, how Anthony? Because I believe me for that. I was like,
You want me to get shot too?
How Anthony let that go? How he allowed that to happen?
Hey, you wanted me to get shot too, huh?
All right, well.
Okay, boy don't want me to get shot, man.
Oh, damn. Yeah. Well, I would
He said
say
I be
this,
getting on
though.
his ass too much.
Oh, nah. Shit is...
No, I appreciate it, brother. You tell me when I'm wrong, and I don't mind. Whenever who gonna correct me if it ain't the brothers who I roll with. If I wrong, I wrong. I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all.
Well, at the end of the day, y'all brothers' conversation proved to me that we probably doomed, y'all. So I don't know what to tell you.
Let's
Forecast.
walk that.
Every
Stop it.
time I
Stop it.
listen at you,
Stop
hey,
it.
forecast. Every time I listen at you, I say we doomed.
I know, because it's true. But
How's your book going? How's your book going?
um
People buying it?
oh well, yeah, it's pretty good. Like it's
Good
I
stuff.
ain't looked at it in probably like 2 months, but it was
Okay.
like I think it was like 200 or 300 was the last time. I ain't saying it's a lot, but it
Okay.
is what it is.
All right,
But
man. It's Sunday. I'm gonna continue to drink until because I gotta get up in the morning. So I'm out, man.
yeah,
Hey,
we about to wrap it
hey,
up.
Bono, what you drinking? I'm drinking on some of that some cognac. What you drinking on?
I doing vodka right now, but I don't know how I can make it in the morning, man. But it's gonna be rough. But it is what it is. I think.
You go get it, man. You go get it. You go get it, man.
It is what it is. I'm out,
Hey,
man.
man, you
Hey,
have a good
it's
one,
good
Bono.
talking to y'all, good brothers, man. It's good talking to
All
y'all.
right.
All right, peace, my brother. I appreciate you coming up, my brother. But yeah, man, the thing is though, my brother, I don't know. You know what? I'll just do this, right? Y'all talked about some stuff. So one thing that I do want to show, because we don't understand, like you said, the context of it. And yeah, we're in a whole nother group of people's education system, and we don't know any better, you know what I'm saying? Well, I ain't gonna say any better. We're taught to not know any better. But
Monsanto gifted Haiti seeds after an earthquake, expecting to be thanked, but instead 10,000 farmers lit the seeds on fire in protest because what they knew about that gift was exactly why they refused it. Just months after the devastating 2010 earthquake that killed over 300,000 people, Monsanto donated 475 tons of hybrid corn and vegetable seeds to Haiti. Some of it was treated with the fungicide Thiram, a chemical the EPA itself requires special protective clothing to handle. But Siobhan Jean-Baptiste of the peasant movement called the donation a new earthquake for Haitian agriculture, saying the donation was a strong attack on small agriculture, biodiversity, and on Haiti's own native seed varieties. Unlike traditional seed that Haitian farmers had saved and replanted for centuries, hybrid seeds cannot be saved season to season. Planting it once creates permanent dependence on buying more the next year. On June 4th, 2010, roughly 10,000 Haitian farmers marched from Papai to Inch and burned their allotment of the donated seed, chanting, "Long live native maize seed." They were rejected.
and the thing is, like okay, so all of this money that was also stolen from Haiti, like we forget about that. Um, this was to the person, because the thing is, a lot of people don't know just like our own history, like not let alone this kind of stuff. But I just remember because being there. Let's see.
Yeah, it was $18 billion, that disappeared. And the other thing about it, not only, what Clinton them did when they destroyed the Haitian rice industry, you know what he did? He imported, and he didn't just import cheaper rice from America. He bought it from his home state of Arkansas and imported it down there.
Yeah, and probably connected with the business period. All right, so hold on.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's what it was for.
All right, let's see. Oh, this shit ain't even working right. All right, now the computer messing up, so I'm about to get off of here in a minute.
investigation blasts the American Red Cross for the way that it used nearly $500 million in donations aimed at helping earthquake victims in Haiti. New at 6, Channel 2's Lori Geary traveled to Haiti earlier this year and knows firsthand why Haitians are still waiting for help here 6 years after that earthquake.
Justin, we've been waiting on this massive report from Senator Chuck Grassley after we traveled to Haiti and saw for ourselves tens of thousands of people still living in temporary housing after 6 years. Well, in his report, Senator Grassley says there are substantial and fundamental concerns about the American Red Cross. The relief agency adamantly disagrees.
A lot of Americans sent money.
Dino Daskar is just one of the Haitian people we met in the outskirts of Port-au-Prince who says he never saw it.
I don't even know the color of their money.
This just released more than 300-page report perhaps shed some light on why almost $500 million in donations aimed at Haitian earthquake relief never got to the people who needed it most. When we traveled to Haiti in January, we found tens of thousands of people still living in temporary housing under USAID tarps 6 years after the 7.0 magnitude earthquake hit.
We have reason to believe that maybe this money wasn't used the way it was intended.
Republican Senator Chuck Grassley opened up his own investigation of how the American Red Cross spent almost $500 million in donations. According to Senator Grassley, the Red Cross spent a quarter of the money raised, $124 million, on management, fundraising, and, quote, program costs. The rest of the funds, some $360 million, went to...
See, the thing that also not only with the economic thing, right? See, the ultimate purpose of it, right? So
Concerted
I
effort
ain't
on
even
the
finished
part of
this.
Haitian elites, Haitian garment manufacturers, including
Because
contract
even the guy in the chat was like,
U.S.
or
politicians,
probably a white dude in the chat
companies who
was
successfully
like,
made the U.S. State
let
Department
the French help them, you
pressure
know.
the Haitian president Rene Preval to aggressively block the 37 cents increase. And that's all the slack I'm cutting her, because these efforts were aligned with the State Department, who were under Hillary's priorities to create a favorable business climate in Haiti. Anyways, by 2010, the Clintons were two of Haiti's.
Now, so your boy, he apologized for it too, though. He was like, "My bad, y'all." He was like, "That was wrong." So I guess he get his first black president or third black president card back since he apologized for it, which also caused a famine, in the area. But that's a whole nother thing. Um,
Ives, I wanted to ask you about former President Bill Clinton, now the UN Special Envoy to Haiti. Last month, he publicly apologized for forcing Haiti to drop tariffs on imported subsidized U.S. rice during his time in office. The policy wiped out...
Yeah, they ain't give a dime back. And and let me say this to Buwana, because I meant to say that earlier. Like, now I get what he's saying with the Haitians and like what they did with Hillary, but they act like Donald Trump isn't doing what he's doing too. So like, I can't say that we giving the pass. And the thing that I would say with you, my brother Anthony, especially people in the past, brother, like I told you, after 1700, there is no passes. You know what I'm saying? That's why we can hold them to account, because this could be the reason why this mulatto class kept growing, because all of welcoming in all of these people and how they could come in. Because one thing that I heard is they was like, well, they can change they changed the status to where whites and non-black people, even though they counted Polish as black, they said, well, we can welcome well, they changed the law due to like corrupt governments and stuff like that, because that's a lot of things and a lot of similarities with these talking points, even with the person I was talking to earlier. It's like they did with the Mau Mau, how they were saying they were so violent, and every revolution they were so violent because look who's controlling the media, you know what I'm saying? And they're like, I get that, you know what I'm saying? Like, because there is no lesser of two evils at the end of the day. It's not like the other side is a lesser evil than this evil, you know what I'm saying? So you're not going to go from one side to another, So I get why they would be upset with the Democrats, but I don't get why they're not upset and have the same energy with the other side, too,
seriously damage Haiti's ability to be self-sufficient. Well,
But
Clinton
I guess he
apologized
apologized,
at a
so it's all
hearing
good,
last
y'all.
month before the Senate Foreign Relations Committee.
Since 1981, the United States has followed a policy until the last year or so we started rethinking it, that we rich countries that produce a lot of food should sell it to poor countries and relieve them of the burden of producing their own food. So thank goodness they can leap directly into the industrial era. It has not worked. It's maybe been good for some of my farmers in Arkansas, but it has not worked. It was a mistake.
It's been good for some of my farmers in Arkansas, but not for those
It has not
Negroes.
worked.
In other words, it worked
Maybe been good
perfectly.
for some of my farmers in Arkansas, but it has not worked. It was a mistake. It was a mistake that I was a party to. I am not pointing the finger at anybody. I did that. I have to live every day with the consequences of the lost capacity to produce a rice crop in Haiti to feed those people because of what I did. Nobody else.
That was former President.
That's because of what he did and nobody else. So there you go, But yo, my brother, even though Haiti has the mountains of gold and all of that stuff that you was talking about, you know what one crucial thing that you left out and what the problem is, and even what the problem is, what the person is saying in the chat, is let me ask you this, my brother. Sure, they got mountains of gold, but what is the main reason for punishing Haiti?
Man, you already know what time it is. You know how we done asked this question and talked about this plenty of times, man. It is not mountains of gold; it's mountains of iridium. We already know that
The same
white folks ain't gonna never let you get away with getting out from under their motherfucking foot. You already know that. It's gonna be a struggle. You're gonna have to fight them to the end. That's why you say you gotta fight an enemy to the end till you kill them. You already know that. Quit playing, forecast.
Well, no, y'all left out that the whole conversation. Y'all ain't
No, I
brought
didn't
that
leave
up
out.
one
I
time.
didn't leave out
You
none
was
of.
like
No,
the
I didn't leave
mountain.
out
You
none
said
of
the
that.
golden mountain. You talking about the
No,
gold mountains and the
no.
hills
If
of
they, matter of
glitter
fact,
and
here we go.
gold.
I'm gonna have to start leave. I'm gonna have to start leaving you alone. But I'm saying it ain't. I was answering what Barner was talking about the country not being poor. That's what I'm talking
Yeah,
about. The country ain't poor nowhere. The country is exploited. Is
exploited.
exploited by America,
Right.
exploited by France, Canada, these Western corporations, these white motherfuckers. They exploit that country, and you keep putting puppet governments in power to do your bidding. That's why the country poor. That's why the people poor. We know that. We all know that. This the whole program around the black world, in Africa, in the Caribbean, everywhere. You put a Uncle Tom Negro in office, and he give you firsthand, give you these deals, these cut rate deals on the minerals. We sell our cobalt, our everything, all our minerals, our gold, silver, manganese, everything we have. We sell it for cheap to these motherfuckers, and they go and manufacture that shit and sell it back to us at exuberant prices, shit that we can't afford. No, they exploit our countries everywhere, exploit our people everywhere. We already know that, forecast. We know that. We know that.
No,
We know
but
that.
that's what I'm trying to tell you.
We
The
had this
average.
conversation before. I didn't leave nothing out. We know what time it is. I was just
Yeah.
answering what your Bahamian brother Bono was saying. That's all I was
No, no,
doing.
no. I got you. I got you. No, I'm just saying. No, I ain't talking about that. I'm just But the thing is, right? A lot of our people don't know that, though. You know what I'm saying? How they the reason why they don't even know the reason why they do all of these things. You know what I'm saying? Like because you fought back and was like, yo, like I am not going to be sub, just like they do in Burkina Faso today with the same brothers, just like the brother said. And the thing is, like, not facing sanctions at no time now is because of like these gangs and stuff like that, quote unquote, right? And you have you know, um Trump issuing all of these things right now on Haiti, right? For those who voted for him. So he was like, yo, he supported.
Pour recevoir l'après-midi. Depuis quelques mois, quelques membres du Conseil présidentiel de transition fait constat échec gouvernement Premier ministre Didier Fizeman. Sous question sécurité, sous question gouvernance, avec sous question
I didn't
financière.
know he was saying this in French, but well, there you go. It's in French, but no, it was. I had the thing with Trump like going at him, you know what I'm saying? Because we're not gonna put it on both sides, but I ain't gonna look it up since we gotta go, you know. But of course, we talked about it a lot already. How America, how the West, let's just say the West, attacked France, you know.
Here. From poverty, natural disaster, now political violence.
Every report about Haiti has to include the line that it's the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere.
But hold on for a second. Something's missing in this conversation, right?
We need to be all thinking about the relationship.
See, this is all I'm trying to say, right? The whole thing with Africa being in the reporting and the it's all European talking points. Like it's from them. It's like ever since Haiti stopped being the wealthiest colony, it has had they have said it's been the most violent, it has been the poorest, they have been the this, they have been the this, all because you declared your freedom from them, you know what I'm saying? And that's they're going to try to make you pay the price for everything, you know what I'm saying? For and not only paying them for freedom and stuff like that, you know, all of those talking points goes back to, well, first, yeah, we want the gold mountains and stuff like that, but we want you Negroes to bow down and worship us first and foremost, you know what I'm saying? And how dare you try to walk away from me like I'm not some good slave owner. That's where all of these talking points come from. And as black people, we have to be careful about parroting that kind of stuff, you know what I'm saying? Because all of this stuff don't happen out of nowhere. It don't come out of a vacuum, and we don't get educated on other cultures, just like they don't get educated on us. And now that we have the internet, what do? We argue with each other anyway. Y'all feed into the FBA thing. Y'all feed into the like this and that. You know, we look at the South African thing. We look at Ghana versus Nigeria. We look at the Bahamians versus Haiti, you know what I'm saying? We look at the Jamaicans versus whoever, you know what I'm saying? But yo, where does all of this stuff come from? Like in the first place, you know? And that's why I'm like, yo, when we like made to like when they talk about these poor talking points, like where does that get birthed from? You know, where does that come from?
Of what we're calling poverty in Haiti and the relation to the richness of the rest of the world. And how did the rest of the world get so rich?
Let's start with France. Imagine if you were enslaved and after fighting for your independence, you were forced to spend the next couple of generations.
And all I'm saying to you, my brother, is like, even though like you, like I realized it, like I have to realize that even though me and you might, like, you got to realize a lot of people don't even know that Haiti is a French colony. You know what I'm saying? Or was, I'll say was so people can feel better. Was a French colony. They don't know that Dominican Republic and Haiti is the same island. I didn't know that until I did my own research because I went to American public schools. I went to Richmond public schools, you know. If you ask me a question about some on the map, I don't know. I didn't get, some people, black people said they did. I didn't get taught about Ida B. Wells. I got taught about Martin Luther King. I got taught about, you know, Maggie L. Walker. And that's about it. You know what I'm saying? We had Black History Month. I had like, who was it? I forgot who it was. It was from the 40s. It was a singer. It was a sister. But anyway, we don't get taught this stuff. Like, and who is the middleman telling us all of this information? And now that we got the internet and we can talk to each other, look what we even talking about, you know? That's why I'm like, yo, we're probably doomed, you know.
Paying compensation to those who colonized you.
Reparations for slaveholders is a new one for me.
That is exactly what happened to Haiti.
This is punishment for their unwillingness to remain under the yoke of slavery.
In 1697, France and Spain ended a war with each other by dividing up the Spanish colony Hispaniola. Through the labor of enslaved indigenous and black people, Saint-Domingue became the world's most profitable colony, exporting sugar, coffee, and indigo.
Enslaved people in Saint-Domingue suffered some of the harshest and cruelest slave
Exactly, Raw.
punishments in the entire
We
Atlantic
black.
world.
There's
Life
no Bahamians.
expectancy was extremely low, such that at the moment of the Haitian Revolution breaking out in August of 1791, the vast majority of enslaved people had only been on the island for 2 or 3 years. They were from whatever nation that they had been captive and brought over, and they basically said no.
Self-liberated Africa.
And see, I don't even blame Europeans for the tribalism because the tribalism has been there. But my question is, why did they show all 52 teeth to the European? And why do we continue to show all 52 teeth? How did I know they did it? Because we still do it. You know what I'm saying? That might be spook. I get it. You know what I'm saying? We maybe need to talk to Haitian historians because we can get better context and better history and get smarter. But at the same time, like we see that black people is like not all of them is bad, and you know, 99 or 97.6% chance that your ancestors probably was like not all of them is bad. You know what I'm saying? But for us, it's still tribal divisions and stuff. You know what I'm saying? We still talking about our tribal divisions, and I get the issues like what Bawana is saying, like we only have this much percent and we need this and we need that, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you know what I'm saying, I get the other side where we was like, that's why I get some of the stuff that even the FBA be saying, you know what I'm saying? But I get that y'all are so against it. But my thing is like, if you say only that and only have smoke for that and repeat that over and over, then I'm trying to tell you, if somebody only has material that goes at black people over and over, then that's a red flag for clone behavior. And 9 times out of 10, you're gonna find out later on that that person was a clone when they say some clone stuff. You know what I'm saying? And how do you know that? By the talking points that they use, by specific words that people say in the first place. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, with feminism, they're gonna say patriarchy. That's how you know that. But you know that that's crazy because goddamn, you ain't got no power over no white bitches. So, and but anyway, I'm going on a whole rant about that. I hope y'all understand what I'm saying. But all right, and you can jump in anytime, my brother, because I know you've been quiet for a minute. But I'm just going through the rest so I can get off of here. But jump in when you want to.
Ended slavery in present-day Haiti and the Dominican Republic. After 12 years of fighting the French colonial power, which had tried to reintroduce slavery, the formerly enslaved people of Saint-Domingue officially declared their independence and renamed their country Haiti. Many countries, including the United States, refused to recognize Haitian independence in fear of slave rebellions.
It's a self-fulfilling prophecy to say that Haiti is poor and Haiti must be poor. And I think the better question whenever an entire people is
By the way, it's not a self-fulfilling prophecy, it's a European fulfilling prophecy because they're the ones who's actually doing it. Black people we're not that dumb, y'all. Like, don't y'all get it? In fact, we're so incredible that we get to the point that we are today, despite all of the stuff that we go through on a daily. You know what I'm saying? In spite of the fact that we can't even get together, like, we can have our tribal differences, but understand that when it comes to outsiders, right? Anybody who's not black, including Arabs, Mexicans, East Indians, mulattoes, right? All of them, right? It's your fault for creating them. So it's oh well, you know what I'm saying? Till we understand that, outside of that, we can disagree. Like, I could be like, I went to the Bahamas and I don't like the way they do this. You know what I'm saying? I don't like the way that they sandwiches is made. You know what I'm saying? I like the way that we make it down south. Like, even though my brother Anthony got some chitlins and stuff, I prefer that, you know what I'm saying, over what y'all eating. But I know I ain't eating no stuff from like France or Germany or whatever. That's one thing that they understood. They know that they're French, they're German. That's why I'm like, yo, when we say they're spelled the French, like, well, what about the Germans? What about the white bitches who was like the not slave owners? You know what I'm saying? Like, not to that point. Again, I'm just saying, like, us saying that not all of them is bad. Like today, after 1700s, there's no more passes. You know what I mean? So,
Characterized as poor with this word is
all
to
right.
say not why are they poor, but why aren't you?
But it's not just the French who have played.
Okay, okay. So I guess we had enough, right? But I wanted to show this French dude, the French Macron, and what he had to say about y'all Haitians better get in line, you know. Um, say y'all tripping. Um, all right, I don't have it. But anyway, my brother. Yo, you want to say something else?
No, man, I'm good, man. I'm good, man. You just yeah.
Okay, the last thing I'll say is all right, so you know how they be like the Haitians eat the dogs and stuff, you know what I'm saying? But we know who really be eating them, right? So even their talking points be false, you know. It be them doing it, you know. And I get it, my brother. I know that sometimes I be unorthodox, I guess, the way that I say stuff, but you know, hey, you could call me out if I'm wrong or if I'm tripping about something, you know. It ain't working. So all right, I'm about to get off here. You don't got no last words, my brother?
No, man, I'm good, man. Great show, man. Had a good time, man. You know, chopping up with y'all, man. Everything good, though, man. It's a good time, man. Yeah.
No, yeah, definitely. I appreciate you for coming on here and the information that y'all give us, you know what I'm saying, that you come on here and say. But and like Mac and you know what, I'll just let this be. And yo, Mac and Dolls was like, yo, I'm gonna come back as a mosquito to cause as much damage as possible, you know. All I'm saying is like, yo, all our people is just like so psychologically damaged, you know, and we have so much tribalism and so much division amongst us that you know, like we should start trying to look for stuff that we do agree with instead of arguing about the things that we don't agree with. You know, learn how to put our tribal differences to the side. Not that we can't have tribal differences, you know, but learn how to put them to the side, you know. Um, so all right, let me let out this will be the last words, y'all.
Evil spirits. Here, the awed and frightened candidate is brought before a witch doctor in order to repeat the 7 parts of the terrifying Mau Mau oath. If I tell any secrets of the Mau Mau, this oath will kill me. If I am called in the night and refuse to come, this oath will kill me. If I see anyone steal white man's property, I must help him. I must hide what he gives me and say nothing, or this oath will kill me. If I am told to bring in the head of a white man and refuse, this oath will kill me. I will refuse to go to the white man's schools and churches, or this oath will kill me. I will obey all orders of the Mau Mau, or this oath will kill me. 7.
Right, man. Yo, we got to start having the oaths to ourselves. You know what I'm saying? So, yo, shouts out to my good brother Anthony for coming on here. I appreciate you for coming on. giving your knowledge. Shouts out to Raw in the building. Much love, Raw. You already know that I appreciate you for being here. Shouts out to Matron. Make sure y'all subscribe to Matron. Listen to her. Shouts out to my good brother Bawana for coming on here. Yo, I'm glad my brother Bawana came through, you know what I'm saying? And that was good context for what we was talking about. My brother KW Don 7, shouts out to my brother. Karma 804, shouts out to her, shouts out to Consider. And listen, let me say, man, I know sometimes that the way that I say stuff may um get people upset or angry or whatever. It is what it is. Hey, Ida B. Wells was like, hey, look, one thing that I regretted was that I should have said stuff nicer and I would have had more friends, but I don't know. I guess I got a weird personality, and so it is what it is. But at the same time, like, yo, I am passionate about like the stuff that I talk about and the stuff that I believe, and then I really think that this stuff is holding us back from being slaves forever. And the fact that they take my money, that my tax money, I have to go work for them every day. You know how much I hate that? And I don't think that black people hate that as much as I do. And that's keeping us slaves forever. And yo, the mindset, yo, maybe I'm tripping, maybe I'm going too far, you know what I'm saying? But I'd be like, yo, what's the point if not? You know what I mean? But hey, it is what it is, you know what I'm saying? So I definitely appreciate those who still rock with me, you know what I'm saying? It's cool, you know what I'm saying? I guess I gotta accept who I am, you know what I'm saying? And accept that we probably doomed. But anyway, as always, man, we have got to start standing for something, or we're gonna keep falling for anything.